Hello McAllisters, my name is Stacy Alchokachi and this is my beautiful son Dalton.
Hey.
He is 11 years old and he has Duchenne muscular dystrophy. Just to share a little bit about our story, back in 2010 is when he was diagnosed. He was 6 years old. Duchenne happens to be the most common and most lethal form of muscular dystrophy, affecting 1 in every 3,000 to 3,500 male births. Just to give you a snippet of what the local MDA means to us. We live here, right here in Cordova. We frequent McAllisters often. Their sweet tea is addictive. But just so you know that what you all are doing benefits us personally, and we want to thank you for that. Since the beginning of our journey back in 2010, the MDA literally has been there from the very get-go. Within the first probably 6 to 8 weeks of diagnosis, the staff at the local MDA office was truly there to answer my questions. I can't tell you how many times things would come up. For instance, within the first 6 weeks, Dalton ran fever. At that point, I didn't know whether to call his pediatrician, whether to take him to the hospital, whether to call the neurologist, the cardiologist, or any of the number of physicians that he began to see at that point. And the MDA literally answered my phone call, even on a Sunday night at about 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. They were there to answer it. So they've been there for a huge amount emotional support. Also, the local MDA clinics that we go to once a quarter, they allow us to, as you can imagine, the medical expenses regarding any type of a catastrophic illness is insane, because once Dalton became a Duchenne patient, he became a cardiology patient, a neurology patient, a pulmonary patient. He sees a social worker, a dietitian, occupational therapy, physical therapy, as well as gastroenterologist, and who am I missing? Endocrinologist. There you go. And so what the local MDA office allows us to do, and all MDA clinics around the country allow us to go to a clinic one day every 3 months and see every single specialist that's required of him to see that particular appointment. Some every other appointment, which is once every 6 months. That includes some radiology testing, whether it's a spinal x-ray, an echocardiogram, pulmonary functions test, those things. And you all know probably just as well as I do that insurance covers some of that, but even co-pays for specialists are at least $50 a piece, and the MDA does that for us 100% free of charge. So whatever our insurance pays is all that we're responsible for. We don't have to pay anything out of our pocket. MDA covers that for us, and that is an absolute huge blessing. Another thing that they have done for us, there is MDA Summer Camp, which is what I believe you guys are raising the money for. The camp is incredible. It allows these children an opportunity to do things that we as parents would not have the resources to do, or we'd be pretty much afraid to do it, because you'd have to have a medical team of experts who know how to get these children on horses. They fish, they bowl, they do things that typical families wouldn't be able to do. And a lot of these things aren't even necessarily accessible easily to children in wheelchairs and such. But it's a fabulous time to not only get to go do things as a family, which we've participated in the family camp, but the children get to go for a week during the summer. And so it allows us to be around individuals and families that have been through a lot of what we're going through, and that atmosphere is a huge blessing on our journey, as we lots of times feel very isolated and kind of like we're in this battle alone when it comes to our family and friends, because they can't completely relate to us. But the MDA has been there for us from day one. It's now over 6 years since we've been doing this, and we thank organizations like you guys for jumping into the game with us. And please get out there and sell those not shamrocks. Y'all are selling some sort of dollar donations to send kids to camp, and we cannot thank you enough for that. So thank you for all you're doing. Hopefully we'll get to see you at the Cordova location, and Dalton may want to say something real quick, and I just want to thank you guys again from the bottom of our hearts.
Thank you for supporting the MDA.
Thanks, guys.